A recent traffic accident outside of Butte involving a cattle truck has prompted an animal rights group to take action.
A first-of-its-kind study finds politics are stressing people out. I'm Katherine Johnson in Washington with how to find peace in a politically tense time.
The cold is upon us.
I'm just getting ready. I'm just getting ready, people. I'm
Does
preparing,
anybody
Matt.
know
You've
how
been
to put a
talking.
button back on the
Yes, I
coat?
do.
I don't know how to sew that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Matt Elwell just busting his buttons to get his forecast to you this morning. There we go.
Absolutely right.
Hey, we are talking snow on a serious note moving into the weekend, and it's out toward Glacier National Park, that Rocky Mountain front that's going to get hammered the hardest, especially as you head into your Saturday and Sunday. We are talking some accumulating snow in southwest Montana as you head into Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, and then it looks like things will slowly warm up from there. Today, not bad, into the 40s. We do have a couple of passing showers in our skies, but we're not expecting any significant changes until you get into the day tomorrow. Temperatures into the 50s and low 60s, a couple of drips and drops at times today, but I think our big changes coming on your Saturday into Sunday. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. And it's funny, yesterday I was at the deli counter and the guy asked me if I had my snow tires on yet because he was listening to Matt's forecast. And that segues perfectly into this next story.
Beautifully.
Yes, tire shops all over Montana have been busy all week as people are preparing for this upcoming storm.
Yeah, shop owners say this is by far one of the earliest dates they've seen people line up for snow tires. Something you have to keep in mind, there are different kinds of tires that can be used during winter months.
From all-weather tires to studded snow tires and studless snow tires, it is important to know which tire will keep you safe based on what kind of driving you need to do.
The difference is in the tread compounding. The snow tires is made out of a tread that gets softer and more pliable when it gets cold out. And so when it's snowing, the all-season tire gets a little bit, the surface gets harder, and so it gets a little less traction in the snow tire.
Now, under Montana law, studded snow tires are prohibited until after October 1st. However, troopers have discretion not to ticket a driver who are driving with studded snow tires a few days early.
Important to note, none of those tires allow you to drive 800 miles an hour in a
Yes.
snowstorm. I think it's important to pass that on.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, 6:33 now. Police in Butte are waiting on autopsy results for an infant who was found dead in a car parked near the police station on Wednesday morning.
The 5-month-old girl was found in a parked car on Alaska Street along with her mother who was sleeping. Police say the car was running with the doors locked. The woman was sleeping partially on top of the baby. Officers broke the passenger side window and attempted CPR on the child, who never did regain consciousness. No arrests or charges have been made so far. Police say they are waiting on toxicology results on the mother.
Well, new this morning as well, an animal rights group is using a recent accident near Butte as a call for people to stop eating meat.
MTN's John Amy tells us what the group PETA plans to do.
A recent rollover crash near Butte involving a semi hauling cattle has prompted the animal rights group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, to put up a billboard near the crash site.
And our billboard reminds everyone that cows are intelligent, sensitive individuals who can feel pain and who don't want to die, whether that's on the road or at the slaughterhouse.
No people were injured in the rollover that occurred at the 1590 interchange on September 18th, but one of the 36 cows being hauled was killed. PETA wants to use the billboard to promote a vegan diet.
Eating meat is completely unnecessary, and that raising animals to be slaughtered means a lifetime of abuse and torment for the animals, followed by a violent and painful death.
One local butcher believes putting up a billboard is just exploiting an unfortunate accident.
I think they're just taking advantage a little bit of an accident, and accidents happen. People get in way more car wrecks than cows do and get hurt.
And even when PETA puts up the billboard, folks in the meat industry don't think that the sign's going to have much impact on people in Montana who really like their meat.
We're a state of ranchers, hunters. We like meat. We get a majority of our income is derived from the ranching, farming industry.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
PETA has not confirmed when that billboard will go up, but they did say that it would be likely on Interstate 15 near where that accident occurred.
In other news this morning, chronic wasting disease has killed 7 deer so far this year, and that has the attention of state wildlife officials.
Now MTN's Marin Sue explains what you can do to prevent the spread of this fatal disease.
All of the pink stick notes you see here are positive identifications for chronic wasting disease in Libby. Fish, Wildlife and Parks veterinarian Jennifer Ramsey says it's misfolded protein found in lymph nodes and brains of deer, elk and moose that cause fatal chronic wasting disease. First detected near Billings a few years ago, Ramsey says FWP began studying high-risk areas, trying to understand the cause and prevent CWD from spreading.
Areas where we had high mule deer density, so those were the areas that we thought it's most likely to show up first. So those are the areas we started focusing on. Libby didn't show up in that model as a high-risk area because we don't know that we have it near the border in this part of the state. So we don't know how it showed up here.
7 deer in northwest Montana have died from CWD this year. Ramsey says people must alert FWP if they suspect an animal to have CWD.
Animals that are showing abnormal behavior, walking in circles and things like that, standing with their legs spread wide apart to keep their balance, drooling, droopy ears.
FWP pays for all animals caught and tested for CWD. If any test positive for CWD, the carcass must be disposed and the meat not consumed. Democratic State Senator J.P. Pomnikowski says how important it is for the people of Montana to continue to follow these steps to prevent the spread of CWD.
Hunting is a staple in Montana. It's part of our heritage. And so chronic wasting disease in any deer population is of pretty grave concern. And we want to make sure that hunters around the state test the animals, don't eat contaminated meat.
Republican State Senator Steve Gunderson from Libby says while he wasn't pleased hearing CWD was in his district, he says Libby is best equipped to handle these cases.
It's going to be an easy area to do the testing in because it's more of an urban problem because of the prevalence of deer in an urban setting.
Right now, researchers find humans and other animals aside from elk, deer, and moose cannot contract CWD. In Libby, Marin Sue, MTN News.
And totally different news this morning. Work and finances are at the top source of stress for most people.
New this morning, research shows many Americans say they're stressed out over politics and believe it's affecting their mental and their physical health.
I think we can attest to that. CBS's correspondent Katherine Johnson has more.
Caitlin Rick says these politically tense times really have an impact on her. Do politics stress you out?
Right now, yes.
With 24-hour access to news and social media, politics are everywhere. Now, new research from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln suggests Americans are making themselves sick over politics.
Everything from stress and loss of sleep to damaged friendship to even thoughts of suicide because of politics.
Political scientist Kevin Smith authored the study, which analyzed a sample of American adults. 38% say politics are stressing them out. 20% say they're losing sleep. 11.5% report politics negatively affects their physical health.
1 in 4 said that they had lost a friend. Similar numbers sort of said that they had experienced problems at work or difficulty staying away from political websites.
Researchers also say younger people who consider themselves more liberal are more likely to report stress.
When you're talking specifically about seeing rants online that you're having a hard time with, walk away from it. Take some deep breaths. Do what you need to do to physically calm your body down.
The American Psychological Association conducts a Stress in America survey each year, which also finds politics are a stressor for many. Dr. Lynn Bufka says it's critical to find ways to cope.
Decide how much you want to be exposed to that. And this is true for any stressor.
Caitlin says she manages stress as best she can.
I discuss it with people. I join the groups with other people feeling the same way.
Experts say a good diet, exercise, sleep, and healthy relationships are also good stress relievers. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
Now we're told researchers also found 29% of people surveyed said they've lost their temper because of politics.
I could see that happening.
Yep.
I could see that happening. And Montana State University's new dorm hall, still well under construction, officially has its new name.
As of this week, the $50 million project has been dubbed Highlight Hall. MSU officials say the dorm hall will house more than 500 students and is still on course for completion date by next fall.
It is really beautiful.
It is. That's awesome.
Cool to watch them.
Well needed too on the Montana State University campus.
Well, happy final Friday of September to you. It is time for a quick break. In a moment, we're going to take a look at the vaping epidemic.